What is going on, everybody? TG here, back with a video, and we are going to talk about SOS stock because a lot of people have been talking about this as Hindenburg Research is now investigating them. As we know, Hindenburg was the one that really took down Nikola with their hit piece on them and basically exposed them for being fraudulent and misleading. Now, another big interesting thing about this stock is the short interest has exploded recently. If we go ahead and look at it, there's only about 2.6 million shares available. Just a couple days ago, as of February 23rd, 10 million shares were available. So obviously some huge shorting happening as of right now, and that could obviously lead to something. You have that much money going into a position to short, as well as they're expecting a pretty significant drop considering the fact that the bar rate is 44.71%. Now that is a lot for a company. So there is obviously some inherent risk when short interest increases that significantly, and I believe that is in anticipation of this Hindenburg Research article coming out as the big catalyst to really drive the stock price down. Now I wanted to go over a little bit of a timeline since the beginning of this year because a lot has happened in these couple months with this company. First, starting off January 6th, the company acquired Dr. Eric Yan, who is a very renowned crypto expert. They talked about getting into their crypto field, and he is the guy that's doing it. On the 9th, they did a direct offering, which is basically a dilution. They offered shares to raise money. And then with that money, they acquired this company right here, FNX Tech Corp. And they just bought them out. It's a non-binding agreement, but it is a Canadian cryptocurrency player. Now, just 2 days later from that, 2 days, they agreed to buy $20 million worth of rigs, 14,238 Bitcoin mining rigs, and 1,408 Ethereum mining rigs, worth about 20 million US dollars. And obviously that's huge. That's a big investment in cryptocurrency, and I think people saw this as a positive, hence why the stock spiked. Now, just a couple days later after that, SOS agrees terms with a hydropower station for electricity, another move towards this crypto initiative to be able to run all these mining rigs. And then just a couple days later, a press release comes out saying that they received 5,000 of these crypto mining rigs ahead of schedule. Now this obviously seemed a little bit sketch to me because we are in one of the biggest shortages of crypto mining rigs in the world, and for a company that just bought them to already receive 5,000 of these mining rigs was a little bit sketchy. After that, some dilution on the 12th and then even more dilution on the 16th. And that brings us to where we are now, which is approximately February 25th. Now, another concern a lot of investors have with SOS is who they are doing business with. Many call this business very shady, and including a company called FXX, the one that they set to acquire on January 19th of this year. FXX is a Canadian-based cryptocurrency who is currently going to help SOS with their mining operations. But here's the thing that stuck out to me that was a little bit sketchy. FXX website is a direct ripoff of a mining company called RHY Mining. Now, if we go ahead and look at these websites side by side, they are astoundingly similar and almost exactly the same. This right here is FXK or FXX, whatever you want to call it. Pretty standard selling mining equipment. Over here, we go to their homepage. This is what it looks like. We go down here, you get the hash rate, the mining rental, the guarantees, the advantages. Now we go over here to RHY and we look at that. Here's what we're going to see. Oh, again, hash rate, mining equipment, this stuff. Yet this for some reason is all in Chinese, which seems a little bit sketchy to me. Now you go over here, this is all in English. Here is Chinese, but yet it's the exact same thing that they are selling. If you notice, the only thing that's different is you could actually buy on here. If you go to buy here, you can't. You can just see the details. You can't actually buy. And a YouTuber actually made a pretty good video. He actually contacted them asking to buy mining equipment, and they refused, which also seems a little bit concerning considering the fact that that is your main source of revenue, is selling mining equipment, and yet you're refusing service to actually sell that mining equipment. Now remember, FXX is supposedly a Canadian company, and they have not yet acquired by SOS. In fact, their agreement signed with SOS is not even binding, nor should they have a relationship with them as of right now. And yet they already have the same exact website. So things seem a little bit sketchy with this company. I don't want to go too much into detail because there is a lot, and people have made a lot more in-depth videos like I will link. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it because, as investors, you want to make the best possible decision. And a lot of times when we're dealing with companies, especially with China influence, things can be a little bit hard to find reliable information on. And, that's a big issue. You try to find information about FXX, FXK, you're not going to find anything other than their word. And that is a little bit sketchy because you have to find sources that can confirm things. Otherwise, how do you believe what you're getting is true? We see with SOS, that's a little bit different. They're acquiring this company. They're already a pretty big company and they have some sort of news on it. But some of these companies have no sort of news. There's a lot of sketchy things, even as much as, who you contact is very sketchy. Their places of business are in China when they're supposed to be Canadian. There's a lot going on. I don't want to go too much in depth in it because other people have done a lot better job of playing detective. I'm not that guy. I kind of just report things and tell you guys what's going on. But I mean, as of right now, SOS, it's interesting to see what happens. I mean, this thing was up huge pre-market to a little over $8, and now looks like it's gonna drop under $7. So there's just a lot going on. I don't know what's happening. I think this Hindenburg research piece is going to come up because they are investigating them. And if they do find something fraudulent or risky, they are going to report. We have an insane amount of short interest that is increasing right now, along with huge fees to borrow, anticipating a very big move downwards. So yes, you can make a ton of money if you predict this right and a short squeeze happens and they have to cover. This stock is well above $10 a share. But if things work out wrong, and they very well could be, this company could crash hard, especially since they are very heavily tied now to Bitcoin and the volatility of that. It's a risk that I am personally not going to take, but if you want to take that risk, know that these are the risks that are inherently involved with this company, SOS. Like I said, a lot is going on with this. There is a lot of stuff to dissect here. You have the short interest, the identical websites of the company that they acquired, multiple dilution, the purchasing of all of these mining rigs, over 14,000 of them. And then you have the fact that they're getting them early, just a lot of stuff going on right now with SOS and a lot of volatility. Yes, you could possibly swing this and make some good money, but at the end of the day, it's still very, very risky. We had a huge run up from the beginning of January to then over 650%. But since the top, it has fallen about 40%. So I'd say stick with caution when it comes to this one. Play it safe. But definitely keep your eye on this because this was trending on StockTwits yesterday. And a lot of YouTubers that I talked to have been talking about this, and that there is some serious heat behind this. Whether it's burning down or flying up, we're going to have to see. But as of right now, it's a little bit risky. And I ask you or urge you to proceed with caution when investing in companies, especially with affiliation in China, because that's how you can get burned badly. They're not regulated like we are, and things can happen. For me, the only company in China that I really invest in is Alibaba. I think Alibaba is one of the best companies in the world, but it's not really about Alibaba. So I just wanted to be transparent with you guys about all this, let you guys know what's going on, and that a lot of people are talking about SOS and some of the stuff that's going on with their acquisitions and mining and crypto pivot and all that. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk to you guys about it. So if you are interested in this stock at all, definitely let me know what you think about it, because I want to hear sides from both sides on this and see what some of you guys are thinking. But if what they are saying is exactly true, this company could be huge because they're going to be making over $250,000 a day mining cryptocurrency with the hash rate that they have. Right here, hash power 527. That's enough to do about $250,000 a day. So it's going to be interesting to see, how much they can actually make and if this is actually good or not. But essentially, they're going to be making about 3.5 Bitcoin a day and about 63 Ethereum a day. So if this does work out according to plan, obviously that's huge. And if crypto is the future, this company is going to obviously, be huge. But we'll have to see how everything goes down and, what happens. But just thought I'd share this with you guys. And, I'm interested to hear your feedback and thoughts about SOS. Before I end this video, I want to talk to you guys about who showed me SOS, and it's actually Logically Answered, who's a great YouTuber and a great guy who made an amazing video on this. Go check his channel out, subscribe, and just have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.